As a prospective data professional, it's easy to focus heavily on SQL, data modeling, and dashboards while underestimating how important explanation and framing your skill set really is. When you can clearly communicate what you built and why it matters, strong analytical work can go unnoticed, especially in interviews. Welcome to Module 5 of the Portfolio Stack Supply Chain Analytics project. I'm Ali. I run a data and analytics consultancy and have led analytics initiatives across multiple organizations. This project is designed as a complete, job-ready analytics portfolio case that showcases how analytics work is done in real organizations. In the previous modules, you built the full analytical foundation, understanding the business context, preparing data, designing dimensional models, and building dashboards that monitor demand, inventory, and operational movement. In this module, we focus on the final and one of the most important steps, turning that work into a professional portfolio case. This is about learning how to explain your analytics clearly, position it for CVs and LinkedIn, and confidently walk through it in interviews. By the end of this module, you should be able to present this project end-to-end and clearly articulate the decisions your analysis supports. The document that we're going to walk through now is one you can find on GitHub. I put it there so that you can read through this in your own tempo, but we're going to walk through it. We're going to talk through some of the topics. I'm going to mark some things as we go. And again, I want this to feel like a conversation we're having about how you can use this portfolio project to position yourself in terms of getting a job or how you can showcase and present it. As I said in the intro, the module is designed to help you turn this completed supply chain analytics project into a professional job-ready portfolio case. And that is the goal, right? We want it to be a portfolio case you can use to position yourself stronger in terms of getting a job. By the time you reach this module, the technical work is already done. You've explored the business context, validated data, designed analytical models, built advanced metrics, and delivered operational dashboards. And that's the feeling you should sit with right now, that I've done this stuff. And if there's any ambiguity here, you should go back, look at the lessons again, and think about what we've done so far. Now, this is where things get important in terms of this module. What remains is often the most difficult part, explaining that work clearly to other people. And this is actually quite hard. Even I've been doing this for 10, 11 years. Sometimes I feel like I have to sit and explain things in a way to other people where I need patience, I need to do it the right way and go step by step, because it's just complex and it's just a difficult field to be in. And when you explain what we do to others, you just need to do it in a good, articulate way. And that's an important skill, both as a data professional, but also while you're trying to land a data-related job. In hiring processes, candidates could be rejected because they cannot write SQL, build models, or create dashboards, but more often they struggle to explain what they built. And I'm just trying to say that it could be that you don't get a job because of your SQL skills, data modeling skills, dashboard skills. But a lot of times what really matters is being able to showcase, how does my work support business decisions, and then communicating it and framing it in a professional way. So the goal here is that you will learn how to present your work in a way that signals analytical maturity, business understanding, and decision-oriented thinking. So if you're watching this video, you haven't done the project, you should do it. Get up until this point and then see if this document makes sense for you. If you want to do the full version, then check out Portfolio Stack. I have longer videos, more data. I explain things more in depth. But you should still sit with the feeling now that you have something you can use to position yours strongly, even if you're watching the free version here on YouTube. In terms of presenting the project, then it should be presented as a coherent analytical case, not as a collection of dashboard scripts or tools. And what I mean by that is that the case it consists of more than dashboard scripts and tools. And we get into it here, right? When you introduce the project, the goal is to help the listener quickly understand three things: the business problem, the role analytics plays, and the decision the analysis supports. And this is a good time to just stop in the video and again ask yourself, I've gone through 4 or 5 different modules now. Do I feel like I've been exposed to these three different things? And if I were to talk about it, could I talk about it? It's something you should ask yourself now. Instead of starting with tools or technologies, begin with the business context. You want to set the frame, you want to set the problem, you want them to quickly understand what have you been doing, why, and what is it that you've been trying to solve. So for this project, you might explain that it focuses on understanding demand patterns, inventory availability, and stock exposure across a retail supply chain. So that gives a bit of context. Immediately frames the project around operational decisions and not technical implementation. We haven't said anything about technical implementation, only what are we trying to solve, what are we trying to improve, what are we trying to, what are we honing in on is what we've spoken about so far. A useful mental model is to imagine that you're explaining the project to a supply chain manager and not another analyst. Whether it's a supply chain manager or another type of manager, the point is that you're having a business context, business improvement, business operations, process-oriented conversation, not a necessarily data related conversation. Of course, if you're in a part of a technical interview and you're talking to a data engineering manager or someone like that, that part is there. But the business context is still very, very important. So example of an interview introduction, you guys can read this one, but I'll read it with you guys quickly. This project is an end-to-end supply chain analytics case focused on understanding demand patterns, inventory availability, and stock exposure for an omni-channel retailer. The goal was to design an analytical model and dashboard that operations and planning teams could use to monitor supply chain performance and identify where replenishment or planning decisions need to change. Now, of course, I'm not saying that you're going to be able to articulate and talk about things like this from day one, but it gives an idea of where you want to be and how you want to present this. And again, notice that this introduction mentions the business goals first and analytics as a supporting function, which is what it is. It is a supporting function, and that's something you should keep in mind. In terms of framing the story, business first, data, insight, and decision. So you can see here, simple structure, explain the business question, describe how data and metrics were designed, present the insight, connect the insight to a decision. Again, explain the business question, describe how data and metrics were designed, present the insight, connect the insight to a decision. Ask yourself, can I do this? Pause the video, ask yourself, one by one, can I pinpoint some of these things now based on where we are in the project, which is basically the end. You should be able to talk about these things now. In this project, business questions seen below were translated into specific analytical structures. Which products are driving demand? Where are stock shortages emerging? Is replenishment keeping up with demand? Some thoughts. Dimensions were designed to represent products, locations, and categories. Fact tables captured sales, activity, inventory levels, and movement events. These structures allow the model to support metrics such as demand trends, inventory availability, stock exposure, replenishment activity. Getting a little bit more technical, but again, we're just explaining. Dashboards were then built to present these signals in a way that supports decision making. And I marked some of these off. The executive overview provides system-wide visibility. Sales dashboard explains demand behavior. Inventory dashboards highlight availability risks. Movement dashboards reveal operational flow and replenishment activity. So when explaining your work, try to avoid walking through every technical step. Instead, focus on why certain definitions, metrics were chosen and what trade-offs exist. Because that says something about how you decide, how you pinpoint, how you focus in. Because you're also going to have to be able to do that at some point. Because sometimes there's lots of data. What do we go with? What do we focus on? This demonstrates analytical judgment, not just procedural knowledge. And within the world of data and analytics, procedural knowledge is just knowing that it goes A, B, C. It's just knowing the steps. But as you go, you need to have some analytical judgment, which is also very important. So an example of narrative framing, we started by defining how inventory availability should be measured across the supply chain. That definition informed how inventory levels and sales activity were combined in the analytical model. Once those metrics were defined, we could identify where demand was increasing faster than replenishment, which highlights potential stock risks for operations teams. So again, we're starting out by defining something, finding the data for it, then how did we apply it, and what did it actually turn into. Try to, when you read this, try to tie it back to what we said up here in the 1, 2, 3, 4 up here. Writing portfolio descriptions. When writing about your project for the portfolio site or case study, clarity matters more than completeness. And it is to be concise, clear, more than writing too much. So the goal is not to document everything you did, but to communicate how you think as an analyst or data professional. Very important, something I see a lot when I work with people one-on-one, how they document everything and not necessarily know what to focus on. So a good portfolio description should briefly cover the context, analytical approach, and the outcome. So avoid the long list of tools and technologies, and let's look at some examples. So a short portfolio summary example: end-to-end supply chain analytics case focused on demand patterns, inventory availability, and operational movements. Designed a dimensional model and built executive-ready dashboard that supports supply chain monitoring and decision-making. Another example, maybe a little bit shorter, this one. This project mirrors how supply chain analytics is performed in retail organizations. Starting from operational questions, I designed a clean analytical model covering sales, inventory, and movement activity. I like the first one better, but it's just to show some different examples. The model supports dashboards that help operational teams understand demand trends, monitor stock exposure, and identify where replenishment decisions may need an adjustment. This is actually, I just noticed this is actually the end of the second one. So the second one was actually longer than the first one. I still like, I would actually say I like the second one more now, but they are both good. And the focus throughout is decision support rather than reporting. And that is, again, important when you write this when you write about your portfolio. CV and LinkedIn positioning. On a CV or LinkedIn profile, this project should be positioned as evidence of analytical thinking and operational understanding. And again, I'm focusing in on not just technical execution, which is super important. Recruiters, hiring managers scan quickly, so lines should communicate impact. Some good CV bullet point examples. Built a supply chain analytics model covering sales, inventory, and operational movements for a retail dataset. Designed dimensional models and metrics to monitor demand trends and stock exposure. Delivered executive-ready Power BI dashboards translating supply chain data into operational insights. So this could be bullet points on a CV. For LinkedIn, I recently completed a full supply chain analytics case focused on how demand patterns and inventory levels interact across a retail supply chain. The project emphasizes analytical modeling, clear KPI definitions, and decision-ready dashboards. On LinkedIn, I would probably add some screenshots. I think that goes well on LinkedIn, but again, just some examples. And then, in an interview, it really depends on company to company how the interview goes, but a very effective way is to present this project is to use a dashboard as a structure for the conversation. And that is that if you get the opportunity to get into the project and showcase it, you should use the dashboard as almost your narrative story to explain what you've done and to structure the conversation. It also gives you a bit of a cheat sheet to refer to as you go and pull in different parts depending on what you're trying to show. But start high level and gradually add detail depending on the interviewer's interest. And here I marked off that a typical walkthrough might begin with executive overview dashboard explaining overall sales trends and inventory signals. Then you can move into specific sales analysis to explain category demand patterns, inventory analysis to highlight stock exposure and availability signals, movement analysis to explain replenishment activity and operational flow. This is, of course, something you would explain to someone who understands supply chain. If you're doing it to a technical person, you would try to bridge this into a little bit of the technical stuff. Bridge this into some of the SQL, some of the modeling choices, some of the DAX measures, etc. But it gives a bit of the benefit to you with the visual part also, because it just makes it easier to show and explain, and they can see some of the effect also early. But just to, this is more of an opening and a walkthrough and an interview, just to explain what you've done and give an overview of that. So I usually start with an executive overview that summarizes demand and inventory performance. From there, I trade into sales patterns across product categories, then move into inventory availability to identify stock exposure. Finally, I look at the movement activity to understand whether replenishment is keeping up with demand. So again, this puts it very strongly connected to supply chain and someone who understands that and why you kind of shaped it how you did, which makes sense if that's the context you are in. But otherwise, you have to feel it out. Am I talking to a business person, a technical person? How much emphasis do I put on what? But you want to make sure that there's always a certain level of business in there, because that's always important. The packaging and the reuse of the project, the project should be packaged as a standalone portfolio case. But the way I've structured it is that you can reuse the structure if you want to. When I say standalone portfolio case, I mean that within supply chain, it's standalone, but you can of course pair it with other portfolio cases, which has other focuses. But in terms of supply chain, it's quite standalone there. Same approach can be applied to other data set, industries, or analytical problems. Reusing the same analytical flow below you see below, you can quickly build additional portfolio project that reinforce the same analytical skills. And this is how all the projects on my YouTube channel and portfolio stack are created, because I think that's one that both showcases analytical skills and exposes you to early start to think about the business part also. By the end of this module, the goal is not to just have a project, but to be able to confidently explain your analytical thinking, defend your modeling choices, and communicate business impact clearly. And that's something I think differentiates strong candidates in a quite a competitive job market, to be able to bridge the technical world and the business world. So as I said, document is on GitHub. You can read it there. It won't be with my marked changes, but you can read through it in peace and quiet. I hope that makes sense. I hope you feel like I'm here now, and a lot of the stuff that we spoke about in this module makes sense to you, and you feel like you can present and talk about. If not, go back, practice a little bit more, look over it again. What we went through now is where you want it all to kind of come together and feel confidently about that you can do and present different parts that we have spoken about in this module. So I hope you are there. If not, like I said, go back, check it out, read the document again in peace and quiet. And I hope this module has been useful in terms of helping you understand how you can use your portfolio and how you can position it for some great career opportunities. At this point, you haven't just built a supply chain analytics project, but you've learned how to communicate it clearly and professionally. You now have a complete job-ready portfolio case that demonstrates analytical thinking, data modeling decisions, and real operational insight. Being able to present analytics as a coherent business story, not just technical output, is what could differentiate you as a strong data professional in real hiring processes. Thank you guys for watching and finalizing this portfolio project. If you want to see more portfolio projects like this, then subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.